Hey, Slick Talkers, thank you so much for tuning into this podcast. And I know that if you love this show, you'll also love my morning show called Good Morning Hospitality with my co hosts Michael Golden and Brandy Canali, as we spend 30 minutes every Monday morning to dive into the industry's top latest news and trending topics. So go check it out on wherever you find your podcasts at Good Morning Hospitality. And you can live stream with us on Monday mornings on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and of course, YouTube. Now, I hope you enjoy this episode.
Welcome to Slick Talk, the hospitality podcast where we discuss all things hospitality, hotels, and business. You can find us online at slicktalkthepodcast.com and on every podcast listening platform.
Thank you all for listening today. Today's episode is with special guest Erica Norris, who is the owner of Talk Fast Social in Spokane, Washington. She also co-founded the co-working business called Praxis Co-working in Spokane as well. She is no longer with Praxis, but going full-blown in her marketing agency, Talk Fast Social. So today's episode, we're going to dive into a little bit about her business, what co-working does, and the effects of co-working. I know she's still there working, but she's not owning or running it as another business anymore. She's sold it to her partner. And so check out this episode. Listen to what Erica has to say. She's got some really good advice. She's been doing this for a little bit longer than I have, but she really knows what she's doing. She's found her path, her market, and everything like that. And she's just an awesome person, a great businesswoman, and overall good influencer in the business world. So if you're needing any marketing, advertising, video, pictures, social media, she's your lady. Her team is awesome, and her team is growing a lot. And so there's always new exciting things happening with Talk Fast Social. You can find them online or pretty much anywhere on social media. Enjoy the episode. Good morning, Erica. How are you doing?
Good morning. How are you? I'm good.
Good. I haven't seen you in forever.
I know. Too long.
Way too long. Well, thank you for joining me on my podcast. I'm really excited to actually have you. Yeah, are you at the office today or are you at home?
I'm at the office. I'm actually in our podcasting room that we just had built. Mm-hmm.
That's sick.
I know. It's going to be soundproofed here soon, so. But yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, yeah, just for the people that don't really know, like you and I started when I first started SI. You were my marketing director for a little bit.
Back in the day.
Back in the day. I know, it's crazy. Now you're coming up on a year, and you started 2 companies.
I know. It's been an insane year. And I got married this year. That's a lot to throw into one year.
That is a lot to throw in. How is Farron doing?
She's great. Yeah, we're doing really well.
Good. Well, yeah, it's just been crazy. Like I've been watching your journey, and it's been very inspiring. And
thank you.
Of course, you've been a close friend, so figured might as well have you on the podcast since this is kind of like a new journey thing that I'm trying out too.
Yeah, I think it's awesome that you're doing this.
I appreciate that. Well, tell us like a little bit like about how you got Talk Fast Social started, and then kind of leading into Praxis, and like what kind of really inspired you.
Yeah, definitely. So Talk Fast Social, we're going up on our 1 year of being like me leaving my regular day job and just doing it full time. But it actually started about 1.5 years ago, just as an idea. I had a friend who is Kevin Parker, and he is the owner of the Spokane Valley region Dutch Bros coffee locations. And so we started chatting, and he knew I was doing social media at an ad agency, and I didn't have like a non-compete or anything. And so he kind of just asked if I would be willing to help him with Dutch Bros social media. And so I took over running theirs, and that's when, I was like, hey, I could do this someday maybe, or just do it part-time on the side to make some extra cash. And so that's how like the idea came about. And Talk Fast comes from the fact that I talk really fast. So let me know if I need to slow down.
When we first met, I was like, is your company name Talk Fast? Because you talk really fast. Like when we first met, I was like, dang, this girl can talk real quick.
It came from my love of Gilmore Girls. Actually, I grew up watching Gilmore Girls like every day, and they have like 3 times the size of a script than most TV shows because they all talk so fast. So,
Wow.
anyways, yeah. So I was at an ad agency. I really wasn't happy. I was running their social media department, and it just wasn't my place that I wanted to be anymore. And the market in Spokane was, it was really untouched as far as social media agencies go. There really wasn't any competition at the time. And I quit my job. And I spent the first week just, hustling.
Yeah.
Hustling every day. And I think that first week or two is when I met you,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can tell.
It was fresh, and you were my like 4th client I had signed that week. So
Well,
it
can you
was
imagine, like, for your first client, like, really being Dutch Bros? That's pretty sweet.
yeah, it was a great way to start, and I think it definitely gave me the selling edge that I needed,
I think so
getting
too. Yeah.
started. Yeah, it was a great way to, and I'd already been working with them for 6 months, so it was like I
Oh,
had
yeah.
the return. They
Yeah.
could see the numbers, and so yeah, I think that was a definite like benefit. So signed a bunch of clients. Some of them were startups like yours. Some of them were bigger brands. Some of them were I have a national company, which was pretty exciting at the time. I signed them about 2 months in Inner Demon Motorsports, and they're still with us, which has been great.
Oh yeah. I see all their posts still.
Yeah. It's so awesome that you liked all of the customers or all of my clients' pages. Makes me so happy.
It's just, hey, you got support,
Yeah, it's been awesome. So yeah, and then about 3 months into it, I was on. Someone reached out to me on Craigslist. They saw one of my ads, and it was actually, her name's Robbie Anthony, and she owns Fire Dove Technologies, its website and digital design and advertising. And she was looking for someone to recommend social media to her clients, and because she didn't want to do it for them, not like she couldn't, but she was busy building websites. So and so we met up, and we just had one of those meetings where you just like meet someone and you're like, we're gonna do good things together. Like she had a small office space downtown Spokane, and she invited me that day, after like an hour of hanging out together. She's like, you know what, come work out of my office space, just like bring Talk Fast here, because at the time I was just working out of my like home office.
Yeah.
And so we did. I moved into her office, and we started just like sharing clients, and I recommended websites to my clients from her, and she started giving me social media clients, and within like a couple weeks, both of our businesses were just booming, and it was just so cool to have like someone else to like bust ideas off of. And that is where Praxis came from. Praxis is a 4,000 square foot co-working space in downtown Spokane. Robbie actually, it was her brainchild. She came up with the idea of bringing a co-working space to Spokane. And, there is one other one in Spokane that is obviously our biggest competitor, but what she came to me with the idea, her like thing that made it very different was the equality based of it. She wanted people to feel comfortable and safe to be who they are at work. They could show up in jeans, they could show up in a dress, they could show up in sweatpants, and they could just come do some great work, and like no one was going to judge them. And so that's what I really loved about the Praxis pitch. So
yeah, and then 4,000 square feet is pretty big for an office space, at least in Spokane, for especially a new company.
It's large. We're actually in the old 14.4, 7.2 and 14.4. I don't know if you've heard of them. We're in the old 14.4 space, and it is big. We've got 2 conference rooms. We've got a podcast room, an entertainment area. And just the idea of co-working is just, a bunch of small business owners or people who work out of their homes or like out of coffee shops usually. It just takes their business to the next level. It gives them this cool place to come and create and bring their clients in and have a boardroom, but they only pay $275 a month. So it's just, it was a cool idea, and to see it actually come to life over the last few months has been insane. Like every day I walk in and we've added something new, or we just added a big flat screen in the conference room and a big whiteboard wall, and it's just so cool.
Yeah, I couldn't only imagine what it'd be like to have something like that happen every day, where you kind of see people from the beginning, or where they're kind of like at your level, or maybe even a little bit bigger and they have a whole staff in there. Like,
Yep.
that's just pretty crazy.
Yeah, we have all kinds of. We have a staff. I won't. They're kind of like a private company, so we won't name them. But they work out of here, and there's a bunch of staff, and they always fill up that conference room, and they love it. And it's a great way to save money too for business owners.
Oh yeah. Well, since that you have all this going, and you're kind of, this is a full-time thing. This is your life as an entrepreneur. Yeah, like every day you're on Talk Fast and you're on Praxis and you're just nonstop going. As an entrepreneur, though, like what's been the most difficult thing you faced, either today or in the past, or you think you're gonna face? Like, what do you think that is for you?
Oh man, I think the hardest part of being an entrepreneur is finding your own motivation every day. You don't have a boss. You don't have someone watching over you, checking your numbers, checking your quota. You have to make a decision every day to wake up and to get out of bed and get up early and go hustle. And that is something I really struggled with at the beginning, because you have so much freedom, but the freedom, it comes at a cost. And so I think being an entrepreneur, there's nothing like it in the world. It's the greatest thing I've ever done. I never knew I was going to do this. I never knew I was going to go this route, and I wouldn't take it back for anything. But it definitely, it's some of also the most stressful. It's been the most stressful year of my life, but like in the greatest way. It's different kind of stress when you're building something that belongs to you and, represents you. I think another tough thing that comes with being an entrepreneur is it can be kind of lonely. Especially when I was working out of my home office, I could go a whole day without talking to another human being. And I think that's why getting into a space like Praxis is so important for entrepreneurs, like even if it's not Praxis, but like going to a co-working space or finding a place where you can connect with other entrepreneurs or connect with other business owners. That's really what I think is the biggest struggle, is having someone to talk to.
Yeah, no, that's definitely like something I faced. Just like the fact that, I don't know, it's a different mentality. And
absolutely,
when you're talking to people about your business and you're all excited and you're hyped up and you're getting the adrenaline rush, and then they're just like, yeah, and it's like not that same level. I definitely, like, that for me, like, has been the thing. Like I couldn't find anybody to share that energy with,
Yeah.
And
I know.
like I interacted with thousands of people a day through my day job in Spokane that I had, and then also through my business. And it was like, at the same time, there was maybe 2 or 3% of people that I was like, oh my gosh, like they totally get what I'm feeling right now. Like I can pour out my entrepreneur energy in a way, I guess. So that was one thing I definitely struggled with. And co-working is actually pretty awesome. Like from when I did it, it was a good interaction, I think. I definitely want to see Praxis. Like if I'm ever in Spokane again, then where I'm going.
I know. Yeah, you got to stop by next time you're in town.
Yeah, well, your 1 year party, I'll probably be there. So
that'd be awesome. That'll be so great. It's gonna be epic.
I saw your guys' last party, and I was like, dang, wow.
I know, the Spokane Entrepreneurship Awards. Those were they were so cool. I didn't know.
And what a great idea! Like nobody's ever done a entrepreneur award, at least in that area. I've never seen anything. So when you guys launched that idea and the event, I was thoroughly impressed, because I do events, and for that I was like, wow, that's pretty awesome, because it definitely recognizes the city, it recognizes the business, and then the people are working hard, and that maybe most people never even heard of.
Absolutely. That's exactly what we wanted. We wanted to give back to small business owners, because, the first 3 years of any business they're so tough and they're so lonely. Yeah. You work your ass off. And a lot of the, awards around here, they're always going to the same businesses that have been around for 10, 15, 20 years. And it's like, we wanted to show Spokane that anyone who's like working their butt off, they deserve to be recognized. So it was a really cool party. And it just started with Robbie and I trying to figure out how to get more people in here. And now I know it'll be an annual event, and people were just so excited and honored. I mean, we had people crying when they got their awards, and it was just such a cool moment for business owners to all just like kind of hang out and connect. And it was a room full of people that you were just talking about, that 2 or 3% of your friends that actually gets it. It was an entire, 70 to 100 people that got it. And it was really cool.
That's so cool. Well, with that, like just tying into like, the hardest thing and then to the awards, what is any advice that you have for people that are wanting to start their own company or have started their own
Yeah.
company but just don't know how to take it to the next spot, I guess?
Absolutely. Let's see, a couple things. First of all, like, some people think of it's like a bad thing when they have to have a full-time job and they do their startup on the side. Like, to me, I don't think it's bad. Like, I don't think you should look down on yourself and be like, oh, I'm not full-time yet. Because that's exactly how Talk Fast started. I started small and I grew it to a place where I could leave my job. And that was something that I was really glad I did, because it took a lot of the fear and the pressure out of it so I could just focus on the hustle. And so I would definitely say, like, don't be hard on yourself if you just like, if you're afraid to just like quit your job with no money. Like, it's okay to have a plan and to be kind of smart about it.
Yeah.
Another thing is just be ready for the unknown, because I think as an owner, there's going to be things thrown at you that you've never dealt with before in your entire life. And there's not really like a manual on how to figure them out. So
Oh yeah,
you
not at
have to
all.
really be, yeah, you have to really be ready to go with the flow and change up your ideas and always be asking like friends. Like, I think it's so cool that you always ask me my advice on like your website and just things, because even though like you might not take it, like at the same time, like it's good to hear what other people have to say about your brand, because
Oh yeah.
sometimes we can get tunnel vision and we only see what we want to see.
Yeah, and
And
that's definitely something like I've always kind of struggled with, because like I would get that tunnel vision, but
yep,
then it was like, okay, you got to ask people around you that are either in the same boat or ahead of you to see what they are seeing, because you never know like what that outside eye would really bring to your brand.
I've always been super impressed by you and the fact that you can do that, because a lot of people can't. They get so like in their own world. And yeah, and it's their baby, but at the same time, like, your baby's not going to take off if other people
Yeah,
don't like it. So yeah, I
yeah.
think that asking others around you, building a strong foundation of like, if I hadn't have had my wife, and we were engaged when I left my job, and it was not a great time to leave your job.
Yeah.
And so she had to deal with like clients calling me at like, I have a bar as a client. They call me on Fridays and Saturday nights at like 11 o'clock at night. And she had to deal with me being just completely focused on something else for so long
Yeah.
until it, took off and we got it figured out. But like, find this really, like, you have to have a support system, because it can get so stressful and you need someone to help you just like remember what's important at the end of the day. And remember that, like, yes, like, your company is everything, but it's not everything. Like, if it doesn't take off or something like goes wrong, like, there's always tomorrow and you can fix it and make it right. So
Well, what other better way to grow a relationship than to have that kind of as your guys' foundation from being engaged to
oh
marriage?
yeah,
Like,
she was just, it was, and I mean, it's like one of those things. I think Bill Murray says, like, if you want to get married, like, you should travel the world together. And if you like don't want to kill each other by the end, then like, but to me it was like, if you want to get married, you can like start a company together.
that's a book in its own.
I know it was quite an interesting journey, but I couldn't have done it without her. And then the last thing I've obviously been talking about is the co-working situation. But like, I mean, it doesn't have to be co-working, but find a group of entrepreneurs or people that you can connect with. And I do like the co-working space, because and I was the person that was like dead set on wanting my own office. Like, I was like, oh, I want my own office space and I want to have my desk. And at Praxis, like, we have our own desk and we have our own space and we have our own area. But at the same time, like, when I'm having a rough day, I can like turn to the person next to me and be like, hey, yo, you want to go get a beer and talk about like how annoying our clients are? Yeah, sure. Like,
Yeah, or what? You guys have an Xbox or is it PS4?
Oh, we got a PS4.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I know. I have an Xbox at home. I have one of each, and I have Mortal Kombat on each system. So because we do like events. So like next week or 2 weeks from now, we're having a Mortal Kombat like game off at the office space. And I think stuff like that's really important, because that's the thing that, like, when you leave like a regular job, you miss out on. You miss out on the holiday parties and on just like the things that like make your job like a little bit more fun. And so that's why I think like anyone who's wanting to be an entrepreneur, like, try your best to get out of your home, like get out of your home office, because you won't work as well either. Like, you'll sit in your pajamas all day, and like, even your productivity, like it's insane how much it skyrockets when you have like another place to go. It actually feels like work.
I would say
So yeah,
I know for me, like there's been times where I'm just sitting in my house. I'm like, well, I have my notebook in front of me, I have my computer out, but nothing is getting done.
yep. And you
So
just get
like
kind of
as
like,
bad as that is, sorry, as bad as that
no,
is to
you're
say,
good.
it's like, oh, yeah, I really got nothing accomplished today, even though I have a lot like I'm thinking about, but really nothing got finished. So there's a really good benefit
Yeah.
actually of that co-working because then I could turn to you and be like, hey, let's grab a beer and go play some Mortal Kombat real quick, then get back to the
Yeah.
hustle.
Exactly. It's like you take like I don't like Wednesday. I have graphic designers now. And so like my life has gotten easier, which is good,
Oh
but
yeah,
you
yeah.
know, I had like an hour on Wednesday. I can't tell you like how often, like before I hired graphic designers, I can't tell you like the last time I was like, "Oh, I have an hour to do nothing." And so I just like sat, I like had an hour and I was like, I've done everything I need to do today. And I was like, I'm gonna go play Mortal Kombat by my like I just sat in the office. Everyone else was working. And I like turned the like TV on and we have headsets so you can listen to it on your controller. And I just played like I don't know if you've ever played Mortal Kombat. They have like a tower, and I played like an
Yeah.
entire thing, and I won. And like Robbie walks by and she watches me do like a fatality, and she's like, oh my gosh, like there's still so much like support in the fact that I'm playing video games at 1 o'clock on a Wednesday, and no one judged me, you know. And then I got up and I had gotten my like, you know, my brain like all the noise out of it, and I went back to work, and it was just it's such a cool thing. Well, I
I
wish
just
you were
remember.
here.
Oh, I know, because I just remember like when we first started working together that you were just like, I'm drowning in graphic design right now. Like I have so much. Like I have videos and I have photos and I have logos and I have this and that. And I was like, whoa, this is crazy. Like just watching you get
Yeah,
over flooded, and now you're like, oh, I have an hour to go play Mortal Kombat. I really want to be in
yes.
Spokane right now. Like I think I should. I think I need to move back. Like just for that.
I I think you do. I think the video games in itself are worth it. But that's what you just brought up is a perfect example of another like tip I would have. Don't try to do everything yourself. Like hire people that are better than you. I can't tell you how long I wasted. I mean, not
Yes.
wasted. At the time, I couldn't afford to pay graphic designers. You know, I was trying to build up like, you know, like a Talk Fast account so I could pay people. But like hiring people that can do things better than you and not being afraid of that and like encouraging them to do their best, because like I learn from them every day, and like I'm so impressed and amazed by the work that my graphic designers do, and it's just changed my whole company. Like I'm like scheduling out like 2 weeks in advance now, and like all of the graphics are like on this whole other level that I could never have been them. And I'm so glad I didn't spend so like any more time trying to be something that I wasn't, you know.
Well, yeah, and
Like you will like, I mean, you started out as a client and you turned into an amazing friend, and it's been so inspiring to watch you grow and get up. And you know, like I said, some days it doesn't work out and some days it does, and when it doesn't, you have to be able to like get back up, put that, you know, hustle shirt back on and just go to work. And you are someone I know that like will never give up, and you can see where you are going, and that is so cool, and it's so rare.
well, I really appreciate that. It's definitely been, like you said, a journey with everything with Slick Industries and now the rebranding going on. And I have a business partner in Seattle, so it's like the things that we're doing right now to get ready and kind of set up that
Sorry, you're
foundation. Like you're,
cutting up a little bit.
oh, can you hear me better now? Can you hear me now, Erica?
I can't. Can, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Hello?
Hello, hold on 1 second. I can't hear you. Are you there now?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, there we go. Sorry, whatever you just said, I did not hear any of that.
No, that's okay. You know, technical difficulties, it's all good.
It's
No, I was
okay.
just
Yeah.
saying, yeah, I was just saying, you know, with my company, it's been a journey, like you said. But with my new business partner, we're definitely taking back and creating that foundation and just doing the whole rebranding and getting it set up so that way when we do relaunch that, we can really just take it head on and keep hustling.
Yeah, awesome. I'm so excited to see where you go and how you grow, and it's just, yeah, people like you and having friends that are entrepreneurs and having friends that are driven, like that's what keeps me going and that's what keeps me inspired, is like just like-minded people. And you're going to do great things no matter what you end up doing, and no matter how, like, you know, where you go. I just know it's going to be epic.
I really appreciate that, Erica. You're awesome.
You're awesome.
So I just want to say thank you very much for being on my podcast, and I definitely want to check out your podcast room. So when I'm in Spokane to come for your 1 year party, I'm definitely going to take a look at that.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll be finished being built out for the 1 year, but hopefully we have, we hired someone to soundproof it, and we've got this like fold down table that's going to come out of the wall. Right now it kind of just looks like a closet with a couch, but it's still pretty cool.
That's
but
awesome.
yeah, of course, thank you for having me, and I look forward to seeing you grow, and I hope to see you at the 1 year party.
Perfect. I'll see you soon. Okay, Erica?
Okay, bye, Will.
All right, bye. Talk to you later.
Talk.
What's up, everybody? If you've gotten this far into the episode of Slick Talk, the Hospitality Podcast, then you are amazing, and thank you so much for tuning in. We want to send you two places really quickly. If you can, check out the show notes and click the hospitality.fm link. Check out all of our other shows on the podcast network. And don't forget, if you have someone that you want to hear on the podcast, then fill out the guest fill out form so that way we can get them on the show. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy another episode of Slick Talk, the Hospitality Podcast.